Joined by Sam Houston State women's basketball coach, Ravon Justice. Coach, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Before we talk about this upcoming season, I have to go back. Last year, you and your team were sitting there courtside when we ended up canceling the entire Southland Conference tournament. What was that experience like, and how did you handle that as a head coach?
It was very challenging at the time because you really don't know exactly what's going on. You hear about the cancellations of other tournaments, so you're aware of that part, but you just don't know the extent of it until it happens at home. So sitting courtside when it happened, first you have to think about, what's exactly going on. You're trying to process it, but you have players there as well. So you're trying to make sure that they're all calm and collect. And so it was very devastating, but I think the biggest part was watching each student athlete just break down, knowing that their season was over right then and there.
Looking at your roster for this upcoming season, you lost a couple of seniors who played a big role, but you returned two great players in Amber Leggett and Faith Cook. How have you been able to see them emerge as leaders in this preseason preparation?
I've had Amber going on 3 years now. So from her freshman year to now, she's made some unbelievable changes in her game, which has helped us be successful. She's always vocal. She's very energetic. The thing that helps me with her is that she's bringing good energy every day. Faith comes from UTEP, so she came from a winning program. So just making her learn the system, understanding, what her importance was at the time, because we did have a point guard when she came in, Jennifer Aramis. So making sure she understood her role coming in helped us tremendous. They have been great. This COVID season has definitely changed everything we've done. So leadership is the biggest part of your program right now.
Talking about Faith transferring in from UTEP, you have a handful of transfers taking the roster this year. How have you seen some of them step up individually, and who are a couple who have caught your eye early on?
Kaylee Jefferson is someone to keep an eye on. She's very, very coachable. The thing about her is she works hard every day. Like you said, she's a transfer coming in. So she's someone who played a little bit last year, but I'm expecting her to do great things this year. Another player that, I think that will help us in a great way is Jay LeVay. She's someone who's coming in from a junior college, but has adapted pretty well. And those players that I named, there's somebody that brings energy every day. And right now, for as much as we wish the ball was up in the air and we were playing, all you can go on is practice right now. And we know that games are different, but right now just being a good teammate, gelling with the team, and chemistry right now is what you're looking for.
How have you seen your team progress just in the couple of months or weeks that you have been practicing together?
I think the biggest thing is, like I said, the leadership. We have 8 new people, and that's a lot of new kids that you're trying to get to gel pretty fast and just trying to get acclimated with everything that you want to do. I think the biggest thing we've seen is just the talk. We didn't have a lot of talkers last year because we had so many upperclassmen, so everyone knew what they was expected to do. Everybody knew their roles. Now everybody's having to talk and depend so much on each other right now. So I think the chemistry is what we've seen so far.
You mentioned that you have a lot of new faces, but your team was picked second in the preseason poll. How is that, something that to work towards motivation for your team, or the expectation that comes with that?
I think the crazy thing is, I just realized that I've never paid attention to the polls until this year. And what I mean by that is when I got here, we were picked 13, so there was no need for me to look at the polls. And last year, it was my second year here. So this is the first year that, I've actually brought the poll attentions to my players and just talked to them about it. And the expectation is that, we just want to be really sound every night. I think it says a lot from our peers and our conference to think highly of the team. But, we're still trying to build a foundation. Stephen F. Austin, Abilene Christian, they've had successful programming and great tradition. And so we just want our kids to understand that every day you have to build that tradition and that culture every day. We can't take anything for granted.
Talking about it being your third year and building that culture, how have you seen it year after year just continue to become your Sam Houston State program?
I think the biggest thing is just playing hard. That is something that I've tried to instill in this program and in every program I've been in. That is something I thought we were lacking when I first got here. And I'm very high intense on the court if you've ever came and watched me coach. So, that is something that, I've seen progressively as we've continued to grow each year. And that is something I'm kind of proud of because it's something that was lacking so badly when I got here. So I think that's the biggest thing is just the work ethic every day. Whether we win or lose, we just want to be contenders in that game. So we want to compete every game.
And with a couple weeks left until we tip, as you mentioned, what are the goals that you have for the team this year?
Staying healthy is one of them. I think every coach goes in like, Laura, we have the COVID test today, so let's just stay healthy. I mean, that's one of them. Another thing is, I tell anybody that you want to go in the season with great energy. We're 2 weeks behind everybody in the country. We're used to playing games right now, so teams are kind of getting bored with practicing every day. So just great energy. And the last thing is we just want to be very, very sound. Like, we're not going to be great offensively early on. We're not going to be great defensively. We just want to be sound all around.
And you talk about that, just the progression throughout the season. What do you guys need to do early on in order to get to where you need to be later on come conference play, and then hopefully to make it to Katy and make a run?
I think the biggest thing is just gelling. I think that's really hard when you have so many new faces, and we have, like you said, some great pieces returning, but it's really hard because a lot of these kids don't understand, like, the season gets really long. And so with this time right now, everybody's excited to play, but mid-year when everybody's beat up, banged up, and things like that, it's just the chemistry has to be really good to overcome some of those rough games on the road or rough games at home.